Hello, Women of the Channel Leadership Network, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. I'm pretty excited about today's guest, as she is one of our advisory board members for Women of the Channel. So please join me in welcoming Alex Stanton, Senior Director of Partner Marketing with Arctic Wolf Networks. Hi, Alex. Thank you so
Hi,
much for being
Jackie.
here today.
So excited to chat with you today. I love
Well,
the color.
I'm pretty excited too, especially just to get to know you a little bit better. Let's start off with those icebreakers. Where do you live and where did you grow up, if that's different?
Yeah, I live in Plymouth, Minnesota, so it's just about 20 minutes outside of Minneapolis.
Okay.
And I grew up in Mahtomedi, Minnesota. So I know it's a favorite for people to try to pronounce if you've never heard of it. But it's about a half hour outside of Minneapolis, too. So not too far.
Okay, well, that's cool. I like it. What is a little known fact about you that you're willing to share with, just a few of our close 6,000 or so friends?
I had to laugh at this one. So recently there was the Spotify Wrapped, that they do at the end of the year with all of your music.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I would have wanted to share this with anybody else, but here I will with all of our friends. Spotify identified me as a vampire. They put a name to it, which is a vampire. And it said, when it comes to listening, you like to embrace a little darkness. So I think because of
Ooh.
all of like the lo-fi beats that I listen to when I work, I think that's where I got the vampire tag. So
Oh, that's
I don't think
funny.
I'd want to share it with anybody else, but here we are.
Here we are, and I love it. Well, Alex, I want to pivot to some more professional, but I gotta tell you, the first time I had ever heard of Arctic Wolf Networks was many years ago when I was working for a solution provider. And I went to an event, and all I saw were all of these beautiful husky pups, which of course I had to go over and check out and love on. So with that, kind of leaning into what is the most business accomplishment you are most proud of?
It's really funny that you mentioned that. And it's funny because we probably met then years ago and didn't realize that we met. Um, Honestly, I'm still in it. I'm still in the business accomplishment I'm most proud of. I was one of the first 100 employees at Arctic Wolf and the company's first channel marketer. And so having now scaled to over 2,200 employees and a partner program that's global has been an incredible opportunity. I've learned so much. And the Huskies were actually part of one of those, let's just try it. Like no one's telling us not to. And we worked with the conference to bring dogs in from a local shelter, and it was a huge hit, and people are still talking about it like you. So that's great.
Yeah.
But being a first channel marketer and working alongside senior leadership to really build and pave the entire partner program into what it is today. And obviously we've evolved as we've gone global, as we've expanded our partner ecosystem. But the integrity of what we created back in those early days and making those initial decisions is really still intact. And I just look at the last 6 years, we transitioned from a combination of direct and channel to 100% partner go to market. We launched our first partner portal. We launched our incentives program. We launched our partner advisory council. We launched our incentives program. We've now expanded globally. We're on several iterations now of these. We implemented the real partner program for where there's tiers and benefits and requirements. And we're at the point now where we're evolving all of those. So we've got teams in place that are making the expert decisions for new partner portal experiences and new program benefits. And it's just been an incredible honor to be a part of that experience, especially having never built a partner program before. So I'm still in it. We're still building, we're still scaling, and we're still growing. And it's been a blast.
I love that. You should be really proud of those accomplishments. I already learned something new about you, being one of the first 100 employees. That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. I love that. And one of the things I also would love for people to know about you is that you are somebody I look at as, you have an interest, you want to do something, and you just go for it. And that's kind of how we met, with you
Yeah.
just walking right up to me at one of the cocktail receptions at Women of the Channel and was just like, hey, I want to introduce myself. And like, we just started chatting and then we kind of, the rest is history there. But
Yeah.
I love that about you, that you're just, you're bold and you say what you want and you go after those things. So that's pretty awesome.
Well, I appreciate that. And you know what, part of it is that's so much of what I've learned too is, and I'm sure we're going to chat about this, but how many times we question whether or not we're qualified to be doing what we're doing all the time. And just feeling the fear, do it anyway, taking the risk. And I think also leaning into other people's brilliance, like the fact that I had leaders and mentors who took a chance on me and believed in me, and they want me to have a voice at the table. And by not being bold and taking that chance, you're sort of letting them down too. You're not just letting yourself down and limiting yourself, you're letting them down. And so I think it's a lot of self-talk of getting yourself to be bold and just do it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were so right. Like that was actually going to be my next question for you was, kind of how have you ever questioned those abilities and qualifications? And how do you overcome those challenges?
Yeah. I actually like to meet someone who says that they don't ever question theirs.
Me
And
too.
if so, I want to know how good at lying they are too. I think everybody does. We talk a lot about imposter syndrome at Women of the Channel and at Women or in Women Transforming Tech as part of Arctic Wolf. It's this fear that people are going to find you out or that you're not qualified for what you're doing. And I think that's a very human response to have, especially when you're doing things that you've never done before. I think what's most important is to look at how much that prohibits you from doing the thing, taking the risk, putting yourself out there. Because we all have that questioning, but if it's
Mhm.
prohibiting you from actually doing the thing, that's where it becomes a challenge, right? And I've had mentors and leaders, both male and female, and throughout my career who have struggled with this. And so I think the biggest thing is you can't let it stop you from taking risks. And I have. I've stopped myself many a times, and I know I'm going to be the one. At the end of the day, I will get in my own way. And I think it can't be perfect. So for me, it's like if I'm perfect and if I know everything and I do all the things that I'm very qualified, then I'll be able to be. Then everybody will know I'm qualified, and then there goes the self doubt, right? But there's no such thing as perfect, and I think the beauty of especially being a leader and building what we have at Arctic Wolf is you lean into other people's brilliance, and those are the ones that help you make it what it is. It's not just you, and I'm not expected to have all the answers, and frankly, I don't want to. That would be boring. So I think being able to lean into other people too helps you recognize that you can take those risks and take those chances.
Amazing points. I love that. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Someone else said to me once that, when you feel that, questioning, can I do this? Do I have the experience? Like that's the perfect time to just go, oh, I'm growing.
Yes.
Here's an
Yeah.
opportunity to learn and grow from here. Like you
Yeah.
said, otherwise it's boring. Like you're just checking boxes at that point.
Yeah. At Women of the Channel East, actually, one of the speakers said the antidote to perfectionism is bravery. So when you look at that,
I like that.
it's like,
Yep.
let's just be brave and take the risk and do the thing. And the worst you're going to find out is that you're growing and that maybe there's really no worst case when you think about it. Like it's
Yeah.
not that bad. It's not that deep.
Yeah. I love it. All right. What are some experiences or transformational moments that you've had in your life?
Life is full of them. But I love this question, and it's actually it's very timely. So about 5 years after college, I found myself in a horrible cycle of working 90 hours a week. I was not taking care of myself. I was neglecting all relationships in my life. And I ended up with an intervention with my family just to highlight how off things were and how out of balance things were. And I ended up
Hmm.
seeking treatment for an eating disorder that year. That's 10 years ago this year, actually. But what I think I realized now looking back is when you're in academia, it's so easy to find perfect, right? And we keep talking about perfect, and I just hate the word now. But
Hmm.
at the time, it's so easy. You get an A, you're the leader of a club, you do the thing the best, you graduate with the, the strings around your neck for the high GPA. Like there's such an easy way to prove that you're the best and prove that you're really good at something. And when you transition into the workforce, you don't have that constant feedback. You don't have pointed, here's exactly what you need to do to get that A. And when I look back at my entire life, there's this theme, and I had teachers tell me gifted perfectionist and all of these, now harmful, what I realized was, but that's what fueled me. And
Hmm.
I found myself not having that. And it turned into this terrible cycle. And I ended up having to take a leave of absence from work, which pretty young. And there's no, to everybody else, it looked, there were rumors like I'm planning my wedding or I'm training my dog and taking time off. And in reality, it was the hardest time in my life. And I think what that highlighted to me is just the importance of taking care of yourself and the importance of leaning on the people in your life. At the end of the day, you have yourself and you have the people around you. And I was I was in a really bad place and I didn't realize how much I was almost tricking myself into thinking I was
Hmm.
achieving and being normal and being the best. And um, now having young girls of my own, I think about them going through something like that. And as much as I wish I could protect them and bubble wrap them, I also would not be the person or the professional that I am today without that experience. And I have a whole new perspective on the human experience and approaching everybody with empathy. I think it makes me a better leader, it makes me a better mother. Um, it's just, it's a whole new perspective on what's important in life and how important it is to take care of yourself. And I just would urge anybody who's finding themselves out of balance or just knowing that things aren't quite right to seek the help and to take care of yourself. Because if you had told me, if I could go back and tell myself 10 years ago, hey, you can have this knockout career and still be in recovery and be in a healthy place, I would not have believed you. And it's, my whole life is different now because of it. So that transformed everything for me, my relationships, my marriage, myself, my values, my children, everything. So I'm grateful for it. And I hope that others know too that it's okay to be vulnerable and to admit when you need help.
So, Alex, first off, thank you for being vulnerable with our community. That kind of bravery is going to resonate with someone. So you just made, you know, someone feel seen. So thank you for doing that. I also want to congratulate you, and celebrate the fact that you are celebrating
Yeah,
10 years of
thank
working in
you.
recovery. And as you kind of mentioned to me, prior to our interview today, like the timing of this video being published is very, really great because it's the last week of February is National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. So I
Yeah.
love that we're talking about this. And if anyone's wondering why we're twinning, it's because it's Valentine's Day, of course. So this will
Actually
get dropped on
changed.
Valentine's Day. So we were, Alex and I had talked about like everything she was going to share today, and we just thought it would be fun to also, bring some lightness to
Yeah.
today's Woman of the Week, but also have those important conversations.
Yeah.
Um, so to wrap up, we're going to throw one more question in there, and you kind of hit on parts of it already. What made you want to be in a leadership position?
Great question. And I think, I've had so many incredible leaders myself and so many people who have trusted me in my career. And whether I had the experience or the quote unquote qualifications or not, a lot of people believing in me has brought me to where I am. And now I have the pleasure of doing the same for other professionals and for other people in my life. And, it just, for me, when I look at leadership and I look at decisions that you're making that impact the business, it's all a bunch of puzzle pieces. It's someone's career and their aspirations, it's decisions, it's technology, it's processes, it's strategy. All of this fits together into this perfect puzzle piece, and being able to be at the helm of working through that. And it's the art of the possible, right? For people's career, for the programs that you're building, for the company decisions. There's just so much opportunity there. And, I hope I am able to inspire people on my team to become a leader too as they grow in their career.
And I have no doubt you will. Thank you so much, Alex, for being here with me today, sharing some of your personal and professional journey with all of our community. Just thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
I love chatting with you, Jackie. I could do it all day.
Yeah,
Thanks.
me too. All right, community members, please be sure to give Alex some shout outs, continue the conversation. She will be more than willing to jump into further conversations with you in the network. Until next time, happy Wednesday and happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.